think one of the most valuable things that I honor, the thing that's important to me, honesty, authenticity, the truth, these things. And it's like I've been getting on here, and you can tell that I'm walking in darkness. God hasn't come through for me in this, I guess, groundbreaking, life-changing sort of way yet, right? I'm very honest about that. If you were to message me, I'd be like, yeah, dude. I mean, taking it day by day. But there's something that seems to be becoming solidified as I see over and over, because God seems to have me in a process where I'm in a weak position and he comes in with his strength and gives me just enough that feels like I'm just on life support, but he keeps me. I am remaining. I'm going somewhere, right? I'm going into a place that I can never take myself to. Dark. I'm being led where I'm incapable of leading myself. Darkness. But I like the honesty, the authenticity, the truth part, because I'll just be straight. I don't think anything else is required, honestly. Because, I mean, for all of us, this is a new day. You've never lived this day. You don't know what's going to happen to you tomorrow, right? We're not so we're not so capable. We don't know. And I think in the church we try to put on this illusion or something. Like, no, I'm just going to keep on believing. It's like you're going to keep on doing what you're going to do, right? And then when you stop doing that thing and you do something new, it'll be because grace took you to a new place, right? God came into the place where you can't move yourself, and that's where he moved you, right? God came in with the love and transformed you from the inside out. And so I'll just look at it and be like, I don't know. But this seems to what is becoming solidified. There's no space left for me to push myself. There's no space left to have spiritual tools that keep me going. I'm done with the practices. I'm done with all of it. God seems to have put me in a fixed position with a very specific process. One, I think others would overlook, because it just seems to be I'm living, I'm remaining, and that's the process. And all of the things that are going on, and that is the process. I'm walking by faith through the darkness without leading my steps, without pushing my feet, without telling myself that I need to keep going. All of that's done now. It was done before. The more I walk with him now, the more it's done. And that's what I will say, it's solidifying, right? It's like you will be led on the narrow road where you will die to the former way of doing things, the former way of you doing things, the specific former way of you doing things and what you believed and all of that. And what seems to be pruned off is everything that you knew before. And what is then replaced with that pruning, right, is he starts to build you, right? He tears everything down that you learned about yourself that was crooked, right? And then he starts to build you. And so he is building my faith, right? He is leading my steps. So I have this freedom. And I messaged somebody about this actually, where I get to be like a weak boy, right? And he can be the man, which inevitably actually makes me a very strong man, because I'm able to be in my weakness with God that then supplies me with his strength. But I get to be that in the relationship, this weak boy, this one that doesn't know where I'm going. And then I get to be honest with other people about that. So it's not this heavy pressure that I put upon myself. It's no, it's already here. I'm walking in the darkness. If you see something new about me in a year or so, just ask me about it, and I'll tell you. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I guess I was going somewhere. What was hard? How did you get? It's it's not about any of that. You will walk in the place that you can't walk yourself. This will be walking by faith. The place that you don't have feet. That you don't have the feet to walk. The place that you can't walk. The place that you don't have strength to walk. The place that you don't know the way. That's what I'm finding. It's a very weak position. It is. It's like waiting on God in a weak position is actually walking by faith. At least in this season for me. All right? And the way that my life seems to be solidifying is it's almost like this process of elimination or something, like science. It's like I'm walking with him, and on this journey I'm discovering who I am. Right? You give up your life for his sake, you find it. Finding my life is finding me. Right? Him unveiling himself to me is the unveiling of me to him. Right? Or the unveiling of me to me. And in this place, I'm coming to know who I am. And this process of elimination thing is like this thing that is being solidified as I'm walking by faith, is this, like, I'm discovering, as these versions of me are being pruned off, every way in which I am not living for. Like, I'm not living for this, I'm not living for that. And that's what's getting pruned off of me. I don't know what's going to remain. It seems like I'm living for something I've never seen before. I'm living for something I don't know how to describe. Am I living for him? Yes, in a general sense. But it's something specific. Because there is something that he is doing that is specific for me. There's something that he will do that is specific for you on your specific narrow road with him. Right? And I bet you will find that, like, as you walk with him and you are in this natural dying process, you are dying to versions of you that were never you, but were more or less put upon you. And so you're like, I'm not that. And since I'm not that, I'm not waiting for this. And so you find more and more what you're not waiting for. That then becomes the process of elimination for you to see what you are waiting for. I'm waiting for what I can't describe. I'm waiting for what I don't know how to describe. What I've never held in my hand before. I'm waiting to see in a way I've never seen before. And the way in which I have seen before, the former way of seeing, I am dying to. And in that dying to the way that I see or have seen, I'm like, that's not me. That's not me. It's being solidified. I guess it's like being like established in him. Like you and I are being established in him as we walk by faith. Right? Faith being where we walk, where we're not able to walk on our own. Right? Being led in a place that we can't lead ourselves. Faith. And if faith is the substance of things hoped for, then you are going to one day see what you've been walking in the darkness. You're going somewhere like I am going somewhere. And back to the whole honesty thing, it's like, but I get to honestly just describe my surroundings and how I'm feeling and what's going on here. I get to fully be here. I get to be the weak boy in the darkness. And that's all I want to be. So that whenever the man in me that he has built raises up triumphantly, I'll be like, and you know what also makes me really strong? Is I know what it's like to be the weak boy with him. Right? Because I wasn't trying to be strong in the darkness. Because I wasn't trying to push myself in the darkness. No, he showed me that those things were not necessary. He showed me that his grace is sufficient in my weakness. So that I could be the weak one. Looking to the strong one. So that when he does establish the man. And I'm experiencing this now, I think, a little bit. There was this confidence, this unshakable confidence in me. It almost seems delusional or something. Because I don't even know where it came from. It's just like here now. I'm just like, I'm confident in who I'm not. And that seems to be what is eliminating all these things. I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not that. And I'm confident in what I am not. But I'm more confident in who I am, but I'm not able to describe. Like I don't know of that yet. But I'm confident in who I'm not. And I don't have to be like, I'm losing interest, no longer tempted to be someone that I'm not, as confidence is coming into this place, right? As I'm in my weakness receiving his strength, in my weakness receiving his grace, it's coming into that place and saying, here's the confidence to be you. This isn't you. So if it's not you, you won't be tempted by it. And so I don't have to really worry about these things. I get to be the honest, weak boy walking in the dark. And we're going to see where that takes me, right? I don't know. I don't know where it's going to take me, right? I'm talking about weakness like this, like I do. It's like, I don't know. But it's the only thing interesting to me now. Solidified all the ways that are no longer interesting to me because I find that the things before were not me. So I'm not interested in those things. I'm interested in something else. And I'm going to get there by my weakness. Where am I going? Time will tell.